All right, thanks, guys. Maryland takes on Michigan State, 6 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that contest. Sparty's -6 at home here, total at 137.5. We did see a half a point fade of Michigan State. No real surprise there. We also saw movement downward on the total. Michigan State opened 6.5 down to -6. Total open 138.5 down to 137 and a hook. 64% of the consensus are leaning toward Maryland. No real surprise there, as Maryland's been very good this year. The number 9 team in the country. Now, when it comes to the total, 54% of the consensus are leaning toward the under with regard to the scoring. Right now, Maryland is plus 245 on the money line for an outright win. Now, this seems like a pretty advantageous number for Maryland backers, but keep in mind, they've gone just 3 and 4 straight up on the road this year. They're also shooting just 39% from the field when they travel, and they're averaging just 68 points per contest on the road as well. Michigan State on the other side, pretty good at home this year, 10 and 2 straight up on their home court, 9 and 3 against the spread in those dozen home games. We're looking at a Michigan State team who, in certain spots have struggled this year, but guys, they rank in the top 10 in offensive rebounding in the country. They're also in the top 10 in defensive field goal percentage. They're holding their opponents to just 36% from the field on their home court. Now, no real surprise here. 9 out of Michigan State's last 10 games did stay under the number. Meanwhile, Maryland, 14 and 10 to the under overall for the year. I'm probably going to get absolutely brutalized in the comment section about this one, but I don't care. I'm going to lean toward the home chalk in this one. I like Michigan State -6 and the under 137.5 in that game. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Saturday's college basketball action. This is the later slate, the part 2 version of our college basketball daily picks. Now, before we go ahead and move on, I just got to quickly remind you once again to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where we do daily premium sports picks on that website, beginning at just $1.99 per month. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. We improved to 8 and 2 in our last 10 college basketball package tier plays on that site yesterday. We also improved to 8 and 4 in our last 12 crowd pleaser teasers on that site. Overall, we had 4 plays in action. We did go 2 and 2, so not a great day for us. Certainly not my best effort, but not a debilitating day. Certainly a day that we can move forward and move on from. But guys, if you're curious about joining that site, we have over 1,100 members on that website. It's a great community, a lot of great passionate fans over there, passionate sports fans, passionate sports bettors, just highly intelligent guys, really, really smart handicappers. It's a great group. It's a great source of information, guys. Link for that site is in the description section below. Once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some more games here for our later slate. And our next matchup is going to be Auburn taking on Mizzou. 6 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. Auburn's -4.5 on the road, total at 137 and a hook. We saw a half a point move toward Auburn. We also saw movement upward on the total as well. Auburn open as the 4-point favorite, up to -4.5. Total open 137, up to 137 and a hook. 61% are leaning Auburn Tigers, 59% on the over. And right now, the Missouri Tigers are plus $1.75 on the money line. Now, if you like Mizzou at home here, just keep in mind they've lost 7 out of their last 9 games. They also failed to cover the point spread in 7 out of those 9 games as well. They're averaging just 60 points per contest, and they're shooting just 40% from the field. Now, Auburn on the other side, winners of their last 7 straight. They're also 8 and 2 straight up away from home. Now, keep in mind, they're a little bit banged up. You may not see a couple guys in action today. Okoro is listed as doubtful, and Purifoy is listed as questionable. But regardless of those 2 injuries, we're still looking at an Auburn team who ranks in the top 20 in scoring on average per game, top 3 in the nation in offensive rebounding. Now, 7 out of Auburn's last 10 away games did stay under the total. Mizzou on the other side, 15 and 9 to the under overall for the year. I'm going to lean toward the road chalk in this one. Give me Auburn -4.5 and the under 137.5 in that contest. Next game, Big East action. I'm talking about DePaul taking on Creighton. 7:30 Eastern tip-off. Creighton's -8, total 147. 1-point fade of Creighton in the early wagering. We also saw movement downward on the total. The Blue Jays open as the 9-point favorite, down to -8. Total open 148, down to 147. DePaul, 51% of the consensus are leaning towards them. 74% shaded toward the over. And right now, the Blue Demons of DePaul, they are plus 325 on the money line. Now, DePaul's really struggled as of late. Losers of 9 out of their last 10. Spit it out, Brock. Losers of 9 out of their last 10. One of the coldest teams in the country with regard to their record. Having said that, though, they've been competitive during that skid. They've been competitive in all of those games. As a matter of fact, these games are coming down to the wire, guys. Just really good competitive Big East action. And as a matter of fact, DePaul 6-3 against the spread away from home this year. So as bad as they've been as of late, they're still getting the job done against the number. They also rank in the top 30 in the country in road offensive field goal percentage. They're averaging 73 points per contest when they travel. Meanwhile, Creighton on the other side, they're allowing over 70 points per contest, and they failed to cover against the likes of Georgetown and Providence twice within their last 10 games. Now, 6 out of Creighton's last 8 games did get over the number. They're also 9-4 to the over on their home court. DePaul 5-4 to the over on the road. Another conference game here, pretty large number. I think DePaul should be able to keep it close despite traveling. I'm going to lean DePaul plus 8 and the over 147 in that contest. We're going to stay in the Big East, and I'm talking about Seton Hall taking on Providence. And did I pass it? I must have. Yeah, there we go. Seton Hall taking on Providence, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that contest. Seton Hall -2.5 on the road, total 137 and a hook. We saw a 1-point move toward the Pirates and movement upward on the total. Seton Hall open 1.5 up to -2.5. Total open 137 up to 137 and a hook. 64% are leaning Pirates, 63% on the over. Right now, the Friars of Providence are plus $1.15 on the money line. Providence winners of just 2 out of their last 7. They've also failed to cover the point spread in 7 out of their last 9. They're shooting just 40% from the field right now, and they're covering just 50% of their games on their home court. Seton Hall winners of 8 out of their last 10. They're also 9-3 straight up away from home, 8-4 against the spread in those away games. We're looking at a Pirates team who's averaging 75 points per contest. They're also ranking in the top 30 in the nation in defensive field goal percentage. They're holding their opponents at just 39% from the field. Total-wise, Seton Hall 60% to the under in their last 5. Providence 4-1 to the under in their last 5 themselves. I'm going to lean Seton Hall -2.5 and the under 137.5 in that game. All right, next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Colorado taking on Oregon State, 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. Buffaloes are -2, total 135.5. Half a point fade of Colorado and movement downward on the total. Buffaloes open 2.5 down to -2. Total open 136 down to 135 and a hook. 65% are leaning Colorado, 84% on the over. Right now, the Beavers of Oregon State, they are plus $1.20 on the money line. Now, if you like Oregon State in this matchup, just keep in mind they've won 4 out of their last 10. They also went just 40% against the spread in those 10 games. They are amongst the worst home offensive rebounding teams statistically in the country. Colorado, on the other side, winners of 5 out of their last 7 themselves. They're also 7-4 straight up away from home. The Buffaloes rank in the top 35 in the nation in shooting the 3-ball, top 15 in points allowed on the road. They're giving up just 63 points per contest when they travel. Now, Colorado is 4-2 to the over in their last 6. Meanwhile, Oregon State on the other side, 15-9 to the over overall for the year. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the road chalk in this matchup here, laying a couple points. Give me Colorado -2 and the over 135.5 in that game. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. I certainly enjoy producing it for you each and every day. I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. I have the absolute best viewers, patrons, and sponsors in the absolute world. I'm a very, very lucky man to be able to engage with you each and every day. So thank you so much. You make it happen. You make it possible. I'm just producing the content. Your engagement and your interest in what I'm producing keeps it going. It makes it all worth it. So guys, thank you so much. Happy, what day is it? Happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you on my website later today at patreon.com/BrockPage.